Hello everyone, today I'll be reviewing Goodfellas. So Goodfellas came out in 1990 and was directed by Martin Scorsese and stars Ray Liotta, Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci. So as you can probably expect from a Martin Scorsese film, this is a gangster film and it focuses on the life of Henry Hill, who was a real life gangster, and in this film he's played by Ray Liotta. This film takes place from the time period from 1955 to 1980 and kicks off with Ray Liotta as Henry Hill as a young boy growing up in Little Italy in East Brooklyn. And he sees these gangsters across the street from him and he wants to be a part of it. He idolises these gangsters who can park wherever they want, stay out late and gamble, and they have really flash cars and obviously have lots of money, and just that lifestyle is something which really appeals to young Henry. So Henry Hill manages to get himself involved and eventually works his way rising up through the ranks of the Mafia. So we also get Robert De Niro in this film as well. He plays Jimmy Conway, and Jimmy Conway was also a gangster, but he was a bit older than Henry, and as such is one of those gangsters that Henry really looks up to. Now, although on the front cover of the cases of, well, for the poster of this film, Robert De Niro does tend to be quite centre and on the front, but Robert De Niro doesn't actually appear as much in this film as you might expect. He's certainly not the main character, but he does very well in this role and he's really excellent in all the scenes he's in. He has some excellent lines and just his whole facial expression, his whole demeanour really suits that gangster look. Now we also have Henry Hill's wife Karen in this film is played by Luann Bracco. I think I've said that name right, I might have mispronounced it, but anyway, Luann's really good in this film as Karen, because actually quite a lot of the film is also seen from Karen's point of view as well as Henry's. Now Karen as a character, she's sort of drawn into this gangster lifestyle from Henry, and although she's uncertain at first, she sort of really enjoys it and wants to be a part of it. We get this excellent scene when Karen and Henry are walking into this restaurant, but they go through the back ways and they go through the kitchen, and we have the music playing, and this is all done in one shot, and it's a really amazing scene. And in this scene we can really see how Karen gets dragged into this gangster lifestyle, even though she knows it's not good for her. She enjoys it and she gets a real kick out of it. So what was real interesting is that really through most of this film is seen from Henry's point of view. Henry does the narration of the film, a voiceover to let us know what is going on. We also get some from Karen as well, which is really excellent because we see that contrasting point of view with the husband and the wife seeing how things are going on, because although Karen isn't involved directly with the gangster life, the consequences from what Henry does also has an effect on Karen as well, so that is very interesting. However, by far the standout performance of this film is Joe Pesci as Tommy DeVito. He is absolutely brilliant in this film. He steals every scene he's in, although he doesn't appear in all of the film. He is a short, angry, furious guy who is shouting at everyone all the time, and every time he's on screen he just completely steals it, and we can't help focusing on him because he's a character that just, he says so much in his performance. And actually Joe Pesci won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for this film, and I can certainly see why. He's a character who is very angry all the time and just seems very insecure. Every time someone says something to him, every time someone insults him, he'll shoot them basically, or something, or shoot their foot or something like that. We get some funny scenes like this, and he's often making a joke, but sometimes characters don't know whether he's being serious or whether he is telling a joke. And probably the most iconic scene in the film actually is when Tommy is round the table with the other gangsters and Henry Hill was there as well, and he's telling a joke, and then Henry Hill says, "Yeah, that's very funny." And then Tommy DeVito says, "What funny? How? You mean like I'm a clown? I'm here to amuse you? I'm here to make you laugh?" And it's just, that scene is so iconic, and Joe Pesci just is probably worth getting the Oscar just for that scene alone, to be honest. He just is really fantastic, and is probably what makes this film so appealing is just his performance as that gangster. But really, all the other acting talent is absolutely fantastic as well. We also do get a small appearance by Samuel L. Jackson in this film, although it's a very small role, so watch out for him. Remember, Samuel L. Jackson wasn't particularly well known at this point, so it's quite funny seeing him in a film like this. So I have to say, Martin Scorsese is a director who I really appreciate because he's very good at doing realistic films and doing gritty films that aren't afraid to be a bit too dark while maintaining that realism. And in my opinion, this is Scorsese's finest film. This is my favourite film directed by Martin Scorsese. There are lots of people that prefer Raging Bull and Taxi Driver, and I agree those are both great films, but personally I prefer this. I think it's a fantastic gangster film, and in fact, if it wasn't for a little film called The Godfather, this would probably be the best gangster film of all time. I do think The Godfather is probably a better film, but in my opinion there aren't many films better than The Godfather, so this is very close, and it's just an excellent gangster film. It's just an excellent film in the way it shows the life of a gangster, because at the start of this film we do get a sense that yes, actually this does seem like a really good lifestyle, but then eventually Henry Hill, he starts to lose control of his life and things start to go wrong, and you can tell he gets involved in drugs and things like this, and he just looks a mess, and you can just tell that things are not going his way, and he really starts to screw up as the film goes along. But anyway, I won't spoil it too much. I recommend you watch this if you haven't seen it anyway. So without further ado, I'm going to cut to the chase. I'm going to say Goodfellas is a rating of 10 out of 10 easily. Possibly one of my favourite films of all time. Definitely my favourite Martin Scorsese film. However, of course, like with gangster films, this is a very violent film, and there is also loads of swearing in it. In fact, when this film first came out, it held the record for the most number of F words in a film, which is 300 exactly. It has since been beaten by lots of other films, but anyway, if you're offended by that sort of thing, then be cautious. However, apart from that, I wholly recommend Goodfellas. So there we go, guys. So that is my review of Goodfellas. So what do you think? Have you seen Goodfellas? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Please let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.